Hello. Yet another time, right? To encourage, to educate, to just like motivate in the kingdom work, right? So, welcome to Baby Spice Talk Show. Right? Thank you so much for the guys that have been watching. Thank you so much. And yes, on the last week I spoke about Talk Up Store that whenever it's back on, you guys should still shop. Please try to shop. It's not on yet, but I'm still just going to be mentioning it. However, for now, welcome to Baby Spice Talk Show, right? And last time we spoke about like what what we should give in church, right? And this time is just going to be the types of giving, right, that we should give, and yeah, so the types of giving, what are the types of giving that we give in church and the blessings attached to them, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, we need to know that yes, it's important, as it is blessed to give more. There's more blessing to give than to receive, right? So, and the reason why we give in church, like I mentioned last time, it's just to help with the spreading of the gospel, to let people know more about God. And you don't do it, before, there's trade by barter and all that. Now, for you to do things, you need money. You need money. However, yes, you can give with your skills. You can help in church with your talent, with in kind, if you get what I mean, as much as you can, as best as you can, right? But if you can't give in kind, I mean, if for example, if you can't give in kind, or maybe you yeah, it's better for you to just give financially, right? It's still good. That, as in, that is encouraged, right? But like looking at the Bible, right? There were before Jesus came and rose again, right? So there were there were burnt offerings, right? Just like Abraham, when he was asked to do do a burnt offering, right? And their burnt offerings are given, offered to God. And they had grain offerings, right? Sin offering. So the burnt offerings are mainly like the best of their livestock, the animals that they were rearing. Then the grains are the best of their grains. And uh sin offering, when they commit sin, whenever they commit sin, what they as in when they committed sin, then so what they do is they uh atone. That kind of thing. They bring offerings and then atone. Yeah, but I believe it's because they had other uh, religious beliefs, if you get me. They had other things that, yeah. So they had all those things. And also, and then whenever they are feeling guilty, they also have guilt offering, ordination offering, peace offering, for making peace with nations or with countries and all that. So yeah, they have peace offerings. And yeah, they just they were doing all those things just to communicate with God, to thank God for whatever thing that they're thanking God for, whatever atonement they want to atone. Right? But um after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, after the coming and resurrection of Jesus Christ, so people will believe in Christ. People will believe in Christ, right? And after his disciples have also like shared about uh, Christ, so people will believe in him. They as in they they didn't have any need for this kind of offerings, really. So, but first of all, I'm just going to. So they had a way. They had a way. They were doing these offerings, right? So I'm just going to first of all just look at look at, just explain what they were doing before I go into the correct ones that we do. So I'm just going to go to the 7 of Leviticus chapter 7 from verse 11. It just, I'm not going to read everything because it's quite long. It just tells like all, like the way they were meant to offer like offerings, offering it, offering it. If you're offering as a thanksgiving, you offer it with sacrifice of thanksgiving on living cakes mingled with oil and all. So they had different ways they were doing the offering the givings, right? So they had different ways giving it as thanksgiving and all that. So they had different ways of doing it. However, after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right? Um, there are different kind of givings that we have to give. I know even like but before then they were anyway. We okay, basically we don't need to give all the same because like they were tithes. People were still giving their 10%, right? And then their seed offerings. So people were still doing that, but the main way of doing these offerings were the burnt offerings, the grain offering, the sin offering, great offerings, and all that. However, so now the focus now it's not on those other ones. It's now focused on tithe, seeds, and then the normal offering after church service, and then the first fruits, right? And then giving of alms. And with all this giving, there are blessings attached to them. So when it comes to tithe, right? This one thing is all these givings are not like, oh, like, but they are not like if you don't give them something as in they are advisable to give. You know, when you're giving instructions say give, right? And then other things, blessings will be attached to it, things will be attached to it. So every giving there's a blessing attached to it. So whatever giving you're giving, there's a blessing attached to that kind of giving, right? So so when it comes to you giving in church, giving the family, giving the community, giving giving friends, if you get giving your friends, or giving to charity and all that. So there are different kind of givings, right? And also in church, you even in church you still have to do this alms giving thing, right? So it's not only outside. So in church you do the alms giving in, and about the main ones that you kind of like offer to the priest, or like offer at the altar, or like when they take the or yeah, go to the altar when they take the offering bags round. So these are the things you give. So you give tithes, you give seeds offering. Seeds offering is mainly attached to like when you want to, when you want something in particular, when you want something in particular, you want to say, God, I'm giving this for this, as in I'm attaching this particular seed for this particular blessing, right? And everything still has to go backed up by faith, right? Everything has to be backed up by faith, because if you're giving it, you are having faith that what you're giving, what you're doing is going to produce results, right? And you take action, the action accordingly, right? So so I'm still going to let me go to height, Genesis 14 verse 19 to 20. So I'm blessed, blessed be the amplified. So and Melchizedek blessed Abraham and said, blessed, joyful, favored be Abraham by God Most High, creator and possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed, praised and glorified be God Most High, who has given your enemies into your hands. And Abraham gave him a tenth of all the treasure he had taken in battle. Right. So this yeah. So Melchizedek blessed Abraham, and Abraham gave him 1/10 of what he got from the battle, Let me not interpret it in a different way. So I'm just going to. So the blessing. So when you talk about there's more listen in um Malachi 3 verse 10, which is kind of the one of the most popular Bible verse for tithe, right? So is I bring all the tithes, the tenth, into the storehouse, so that there may be food in my house, and test me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you so great a blessing until there is no more room to receive it. Right? This um this the tithes, right, is a you can't like give tithes only, right? You can't give tithes without um without without love, without doing all the things you're meant to do as a Christian, and just like, oh, when you kind of like you focus and just giving tithes, and then you just say, oh, I'm going to, yeah, the church only wants my money, and then I'm just going to, yeah, just be focusing on giving and not doing the practical things that we're meant to do as Christians, right? So they go hand in hand, and the Bible states this, right? So they go because they're still going to talk about tithing later on, but however, we're going to make this video brief and just talk about the other things. So tithing is important to give tithe, which is advisable to give, right? So when you're giving, you need to be ready. People, oh my goodness, higher. When you're giving, you need to be ready, as in give it with backed up with prayer, give it backed up with good behavior, give it backed up with you doing the right thing, right? That is what it is about. It's not about, it's Christian work is not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy because your moral standard, as in, it doesn't mean that all Christians have they're top notch. Yes, but I'm saying what is expected is that their standards that are being set, right, for Christians, and it's not easy to actually be at that top standard at all level at every time. I mean, every second, every minute, every hour. However, that is what is advisable. So if you can do it, you do it, because everyone have the grace to do it. And if you want to do it, it's up to you. If you want to do it, you do it, right? And yeah, God is going to be rich. God is going to be with us all, right? As we go on this Christian journey, everyone, as in, some people have already they've gone their level. Like, I know, and there's one of my videos I said their level is like top notch, right? So, but everyone are kind of battling it, when there's my previous video kind of explained more about all these things. Anyway, so now I'm going to I've mentioned about seed offerings. So seed offerings is about you having a particular need, and then you just have back it up and say that yes, this seed is for this money, this thing I'm giving is for this particular thing. It's actually, do you know, there was a service I went to one time, and somebody actually brought a shoe. As in somebody brought a shoe, and so I want to give this as so it's meant. I think it's meant to be like a very expensive shoe. Maybe I don't know how you sell it, or maybe somebody else is going to wear it or something. But it's meant expensive shoe, and the person gave it out. And I've seen people they give cars and all that because they're able to give it. That's what they determine to give. They are giving it's better. You give it all out with your whole mind. You give it, right? You're determined to give it, and then you give it. Right, that's what it's about. If you're not meant to be cajoled to do it, you're not meant to be forced to doing it, you're not meant to be blackmailed to do it. You're just doing it because God has laid it in your heart to do it, right? And then the blessing attached to it comes with it, right? You don't need any blackmail, you don't need any cajolery, you don't need any pain, right? Anything to cause you to do it. Or you have, as long as it is yours and you want to give it, you can give it. But if you can't give it, yeah, it's not everyone that have the grace. Like I said in my previous video, people give thousands, people give billions, just add the zeros, and it will not have any effect. It will not affect any of their thing, any of their lifestyle. You understand? Some people are like that. So if you are at that level, I bow. You understand? Sure, sir. Sure, ma. So well done, well done. God make God be with you and bless you in abundance, right? So anywho, so when it comes to seeds, right? Sorry, I'm just going to say 38. So this I'm just talking about, I'm going to talk about offering. After service you go to church and then you give offering after service, and it's meant to be a sign of like, oh yeah, you've appreciated what has happened, you're blessing the words that you've received. You understand? You're kind of appreciating what you have experienced. You understand? And it's just like mainly in support of the fortunes of the gospel, because like I said, to be on here, it's not easy. When you set the stage and all that, when you set the stage, you build the camera, you do everything, it's not you still spend money on these things. And I know that some people actually, they've used their finances to do these things, because there was something I was watching one time, and then they were just talking about, oh, after so years, right, after about 25 years or so, and this is what has happened, or to achieve this particular thing, this was what happened, that people put their finances and all that. When you see the end result, is kind of massive. But like, it started small. Somebody put their effort. First of all, they put their skill set, they put their time, they put their finances in it, right? It's not like only up to one person. Because it has to be like the leader, only the leader that has to, or the pastor that has to bring the funds, and then the action is, because it's not like a company, if you get what I mean. It's not like, oh, the pastor is a director and then he has to provide the money and all that. So it's kind of like a team, kind of a team effort. So you give what you can give to make it come out. When you to make it to make the church achieve its goal, right? So anyway, the offering is something that you give every time, really, every almost in every gathering, just to appreciate what has happened, what you've received, kind of thing. So Luke chapter 6 verse 38 says, give and it shall be given unto you, they will pour into your lap a good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over, right? And running over, with no space left for more. For with the standards of measurement you use when you do good to others, it will be measured to you in return, right? So this is also talking about doing good to other people, but it's also about like, just give what you can give. Widows' mites, billions, thousands, trillions, whatever you can give, just give for the functions of the gospel, right? That is just the most important. That's just the thing, for the functions of the gospel, right? And I'm just going to also continue with that, in line with that. 9 verse 11. If we have sown the good seed of spiritual things in you, it is too much. Is it too much if we reap material things from you? So what I said about like, when the minister has kind of sown spiritual things into you, they've deposited it. So it's just like, it's something that is required, just like, oh, just give. give them material thing, just yeah, just to encourage them. Oh yeah, you know, just, well, you've done well, I've received something from you, if you get what I mean. Yeah, you've done well done, thank you, kind of thing. So that's just what it's about. And still yet, these things are not forced. They are not forced, right? You know, people, it talk, like I said, it's just an encouragement. Just give. If the pastors, the ministers, everyone, they've sown a spiritual seed, you've prayed, you've fellowship, you've felt the presence of God, you felt something genuine, right? So yeah, it's just like, oh, is it not okay for you to just give a material gift? Just give a material gift, it's alright. The guy, that's just out of this, that's just what it just like, yeah, it's just an advice, just give, right? But still, you know, still yet, one shouldn't be judgmental about these things. It's something that you have to willingly open your heart, open your mind to giving it, and knowing that yes, every giving, there's a blessing attached to it. Because I mentioned about the tithe, the blessing attached to the tithe. Still, yeah, that's still voluntary, but you still have to give it. And there's still going to be talk about each and every one later on. I'm just mentioning this ones this time. So um second corinthians second corinthians 9 verse 6 to 8, right? So now remember this, right? So now remember this. He who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows generously, that blessings may come to others, will also reap gracious and generously and be blessed. Let each one give thoughtfully and with purpose. Thoughtfully and with purpose, just as he has decided in his heart, not grudgingly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver and delights in the one whose heart is in his gift. And God is able to make all grace, every favor, and earthly blessing come in abundance to you, so that you may always, under all circumstances, regardless of the need, have complete sufficiency in everything, being completely self sufficient in Him, and have an abundance for every good work and act of charity. So these are the things that we need to do, as in, and the blessings attached to them. We're going to be in abundance, right? So give for us to be in abundance, right? And you need to decide, as in, you need to decide in your heart, not grudgingly. Not, you need to have purpose for giving. You give with purpose. You give generously. You give cheerfully. You don't give frowning your face. You don't give like as if somebody has pinched you, or you understand. You know, I know you well, you dance and all that. I know no, I don't. You dance, you do everything just to ensure that yes, you know, you're not doing it grudgingly. You have a purpose for giving. You're giving wholeheartedly, ensuring that yes, the gospel um is being financed and all that. So because like I said, it's your interest. You have interest in it. Your heart is in it. So you give your treasure into it. So it's advisable to give. It is advisable to give up. Kind of, yeah. Let me just leave it like that, right? So I'm going to look chapter 6 verse 38. Give, and it will be given unto you, right? They will pour into your lap a good measure. Oh, it looks like I've read it. Yes, I've read it. Oh my goodness. So give, it shall be given unto you. Good measure, friends down, checking together and running over. Yeah, I believe you must have heard that song before. Yeah, so you have to give. So yeah, it's be given unto you, right? So there's also like first fruits, so which is meant to be like the first of every crop, everything you got, you received, the first of it. So it's normally like the first of, maybe like, if you got a job newly, the first earning you got from it. So it's kind of like in showing appreciation for what you've received, and also expecting blessing to follow afterwards. For maybe like, for example, you give maybe the first month of the year, and then like expecting that, oh, thanking God for the beginning of the year for when you're receiving starting, and then whatever to follow is praying that yes, you're going to have a blessed. So these are advisable. These are the things that are advisable. If you don't have the faith for it, if you don't have the grace for it, don't give and then be regretting later. You give because you have the faith for it, and then you expect. It's advisable to give. You give, and then you expect to receive. I will like, yeah, you give, and then you have faith, and then whatever you have faith for, you will get. So you don't give and then you'll be I don't know, you'll be shitting your pants. Sorry for using that kind of thing. You'll be acting in a funny way, you'll be abusing people, you'll be doing this, doing that. Or you say you give and then you go and steal from somebody, or you give, you go and do one thing or the other. You give because you have you have the grace, you have the faith to do it. If you can't do it, please leave it. That's my own advice. If you can't do it, please leave it. But if you do it, there's blessing attached to it. So yeah. And then I've mentioned about giving of alms, right? So, first of all, let me actually uh, go on to use the Bible. Every year you shall certainly tithe a tenth of all your yield of the seed which is produced by your field. You shall eat the tithes of your grain, your new wine, your oil, and the firstborn of your herd and your flock before the Lord your God, right? In the place where He chooses to establish His presence, so that you may learn to fear the Lord your God, right? Reverence and profound respect of His. Anyway, Proverbs 3:9. Proverbs 3:9. Honor the Lord with your wealth and the first fruit of all your crops, income. Then your barns will be abundantly filled, and your fat will overflow with new wine. Mm? So that's what you're meant to do in regards to tithe, regards to first fruit. So I'm going to go to Romans 11:16, right? If the first portion of dough offered as the first fruit is holy, so is the whole batch of it. So is the whole batch. And if the root, that is Abraham, if the root is holy, so are the branches, right? So, like I said, when the first one, you thank God for it and you received it, and then you say, oh yeah, you give it, and that every other one that you're going to receive afterwards will be blessed, right? So that, and it's going to be in abundance, and all that. It's going to be fruitful, more, you understand, beyond what you've received. So that is what the first fruit is for. But it's like you having the faith that that's what's going to happen, and then you give it. Yeah. So I'm going to go to Isaiah 61, verse 7. Yeah. So when you give based of the blessing that I've mentioned before, so the blessing that is attached to first fruit again in Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7, it said that instead of your former shame, you will have a double portion. And instead of humiliation, your people will shout for joy over their portion. Therefore, in their land, they will possess double what they had forfeited. Everlasting joy will be theirs. So that is what is kind of like back also attached to the blessing of first fruit. And the blessing so when in terms of like giving alms and helping, yeah, like I mentioned before, helping others and all that, so they're also like blessings attached to them. So everything we give is kind of like it's given to us, right, in double portion. It's given to us in double portion. So one thing is that it also like helps us to kind of be make the world a better place, make just contribute to what is happening, and contribute to the change, contribute to making someone's life a better place. Because with everything that's happening, there's some people that you meet them, they can't make a change in your life, they'll make your life worse. So it's better for you to be one of the people that make people's life better rather than people that make their life worse, right? You make your own contribution. You're not why will I put it? You're not going to take all their burdens. You're going to make your own contribution, and then leave the rest to God. You understand? So it's important for you to make your own positive impact and leave the rest to God. So that is what it's about. So, and it's one thing is that it's also important to do it without like say, oh, some people, you do it for somebody, you help somebody, and then the whole world knows about it, or you help somebody and then you be there, that the person will be walking up and that's that girl, let me help her, let me do this, let me do that, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I know there are people that are even when you help them, they're arrogant. There's some people that, oh, when you are the helper, you are still arrogant. So all the want to just do and let us know. Just do the more you can do. So if you are the receiver and if you are the giver and that one is now you between you and God. If you know what I mean. So giving, receiving. It's better. One thing is that the Bible says it's better to receive. It's better to give than to receive, right? So there's more blessing attached to giving than receiving. So, yeah, I'm going to end like that now. However, we're still going to like break down every bit of this giving, and let me just be that way. We're going to break it down and then know what's up. No more details about all this giving. For now, thank you so much for watching. Love you. And give with you backing it up with faith, and give wholeheartedly, not grudgingly. If you can't give, please leave it. If you don't have the grace to give, leave it. Because if you can't say you cannot be giving, you cannot be saying that, oh, you want to give, or you are compelled to give, and then you will be somewhere else, and then after giving you will not go and be crying, or you go and be getting yourself bitter necessarily. So the one you can do is what you should do. And everyone have the grace. The one you can't do, please leave it alone. But it's advisable to do. So love you. Have a blessed week. Enjoy yourself, right, to the fullest. Love you. Bye, guys. Thank you.